overseas, we're into this constant barrage of bombs on both sides of Israel and Gaza. So we're looking at a much bloodier war coming. And then we've got all these local tensions. What is it like to be a leader of a synagogue? What's it like to be a rabbi in this time? Let's ask one. Rabbi Adam Cutler, senior rabbi at Adath Israel Congregation in Toronto. So nice to have you on. I was so delighted to see my producer book you. So great to have you on.
Well, I appreciate you reaching out this morning.
Absolutely. So what's it like to be a rabbi in times like this?
It's incredibly difficult. There is a lot of sadness and anxiety and rage in the Jewish community right now. We are watching scenes of unspeakable horror. They're not happening to people we don't know somewhere far away. They're happening to our friends and to our family. There is not a single Jewish person in the city of Toronto who doesn't know someone who has been personally affected by what's going on, doesn't know someone who has lost a cousin, a niece, a father, nobody who doesn't know someone who has been taken hostage. And to compound it all, we know that when things like this happen in Israel, that it doesn't stay in Israel. We sadly know that when violence erupts, so to speak, as if it just happens spontaneously in the Middle East, that it manages to find its way here to our city and to our country. Anti-Semitism has already been on the rise. This has only added fuel to that fire. We are already seeing upticks in anti-Semitic speech, harassment, and unfortunately, we know from the past what is likely to follow is crimes against property and against people. So it is not the easiest time to be a rabbi right now.
No, I would think not. And so when we see these things happen, there is this tension that locally we see. This one is going to be a much, much bigger battle. The Israelis have made clear and Jews have made clear they're not going to stop this time. There's not going to be any, halfway point. They want this done. They want the terrorists eradicated. And that's going to mean a lot of blood. And that's going to be a lot of innocent people on both sides getting killed. And so what kind of conversations happen behind the scenes? The police, as you know, are going to update us. But what conversations are behind the scenes going on at the synagogues and that?
We are in constant conversation with the police, who have been very gracious and helpful, and I want to thank them for that. We have upped our existing security. Synagogues and Jewish schools and institutions across the city already pay for security often 24/7, and we've all had to increase that, and we're appreciative of the police presence as well. Sadly, there will be more bloodshed, but let's be clear. Though there will be innocent blood shed in Israel and in Gaza, all of that blood is on the hands of Hamas, every single drop. They are the ones who decided to massacre over 1,300 Israelis. They are the ones who thought it appropriate to leave their homes and shoot and behead babies. Any response to that is on their hands.
What kind of conversations have you had with other faith leaders, whether it's in the Christian, Muslim community, Indian community? What conversations have you had?
The answer is
or
zero.
Have you?
I have been disappointed it is not nearly strong enough. No one has picked up the phone to call me. No one has sent me an email. The statements that we are seeing from faith organizations across this country are timid and speaking out of both sides of the mouth at best, mealy-mouthed and just awful. And at worst, justifying, speaking in terms of resistance, as if it's so hard to say unequivocally that it's not all right to behead babies, full stop. So I'm disappointed. I'm saddened. I have been among the Jewish leaders in this city who has insisted of standing alongside our Muslim brothers and sisters and our Christian brothers and sisters when they and their organizations have been attacked in Canada and elsewhere. I've stood outside of mosques and churches, hand in hand with fellow Jews, forming rings of peace when they have felt under the gun. And I'm being ghosted. Not a word.
Would you normally get some kind of reaction? Would you normally have these conversations?
There are times I hear from my state counterparts. I'm not sure if this isn't registering, if they're feeling like, there's moral equivalence between those who are doing the butchering and those who are being butchered. But I haven't heard anything.
Is it harder for you at this time or other rabbis to find forgiveness? Because generally that's what you do.
I'm not sure I understand the question.
Is it a harder thing for you to find forgiveness at a time like that maybe normally before you might say, like, let's turn to understanding, let's turn to finding forgiveness? Is it different for you this time and for other rabbis?
Within the Jewish faith, someone has to ask for forgiveness. It's not something which is granted automatically. And I'm not expecting anyone from Hamas to say, I'm sorry for what they did.
No.
Hamas are modern-day Nazis. Their raison d'etre is the eradication of Jews. It's not a simple political grievance. They are out there to murder Jews, and they're unapologetic about it. So, no, I'm not interested in offering any sort of forgiveness.
Certainly dark days very much behind us and more to come ahead of us. Difficult time on a number of different levels. Rabbi, I thank you very much, and I hope certainly that turns around as far as community and other faith leaders are reaching out. I appreciate your time.
Thank you very much for having me.
Rabbi Adam Cutler, who is with Adath Israel congregation in Toronto. Surprises me a little bit that there would be no outreach at a time like this. And I guess he is surprised as well.